Exactly 3 weeks ago, I was at Samfia Beach next to Mwanza with Sister Bridget. And 2 other sisters, including 23 teachers from their school here at Chawama. When we were having a nice time on the beach, a young girl came to greet me, and quite strangely, in front of the teachers there, this young girl said to me that she likes me. So the teacher said to her that he is a priest. The girl said, I don't care. So she turned back to me and she said, can we go and swim together? Brothers and sisters, when a young girl tells you that she likes you, we know what she means. So I said to her, I don't believe you. She said, why? I said, because you don't know what love is. Do you know my name? No. Do you know my Do you know where I come from? No. Do you know the job I do? Do you know my occupation? No. Dear brothers and sisters, the Pharisees are interrogating Jesus about the greatest commandment, which substantially is about love. The answer that we were looking for could easily be found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verses 4 to 7, which every Jew knew from the famous Shema, and which we all recite every Saturday during night prayer or compline. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is one, and you must love the Lord your God with all your heart. See, that's the first condition of love. With all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Is sex in there? So when we begin to equate love with sex, we're going astray. So this is so simple that we have to ask ourselves, why were they trying to trap Jesus on something so simple? We can even call it so simple. Matthew wanted to show us something fundamental about life, or even about sanctity. To live happily in this world, and even to become a saint, we must have a correct understanding of the basic things in life, the very rudimentary things in life, such as love, trust, perseverance, sincerity, etc. We use these words carelessly. Like the young woman who saw them begging at the beach. Matthew wants us to understand when we say these things to people, as it turned out, the trap that the Pharisees were setting for Jesus became their own trap. Because to know the law is to put it into practice. And they were the ones who did not know the law because they could not love. They had too many conditions and a very narrow perception of love. And if the core of the law is love, then the Pharisees were exposing themselves as the very same ones who were incapable of loving. And so we come down to the fundamental question. What does it mean to love God and to love our neighbor? Basically, to love God is to love Jesus Because Jesus is the image of the unseen God, the invisible God. The fact that the Jews would subsequently plot the death of Jesus denoted the fact that they did not love God. To love God is to love all the things that God created, because God can be seen and discerned in his creation. All the philosophers who have formulated proofs for the existence of God have done so sometimes using arguments from the laws of nature. The harm we do to the environment, for example, is ample proof that we don't love God. To love God is to love the Catholic Church, which God in the person of Jesus Christ created. To love God is to love the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God, because God and his mother are inseparable. There's a very long list, my brothers and sisters, of what it means to love God. And we must remember that all these conditions are interconnected. If you love the environment, for example, but you hate the Catholic Church, or you hate Mary, and you believe that Catholics are worshipping idols, then you don't love God. To love God, we must love everything about him without exception. From here, my brothers and sisters, we can begin to see how the first and greatest commandment is linked to the second, which is to love our neighbor as ourselves. Jesus has simplified the second greatest commandment as, do unto others what you want them to do unto you. Matthew 7:12. And Jesus also uses several parables to illustrate the point, especially the parable of the Good Samaritan, the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, and also the Good Shepherd. My neighbor includes even my enemies. Love your enemies. Do good to those who persecute you. To love my neighbor as myself is to give them exactly the very best thing that I will give to myself. If we love our neighbor as we truly should, then we can never harm our neighbor. We can never be jealous of them. We can never discriminate against them. Just in the same way as we cannot harm ourselves or discriminate ourselves. When we say to them that we love them, we must keep to our words. According to Jesus, if we truly love our neighbor, and here is the point, then we and our neighbor should be one. Jesus has given us the best example of what it means to love our neighbor, because each time we receive Jesus in the Eucharist, we become one with him, or he becomes one with us. Sometimes when the brothers or the sisters tell people out there, or people out there tell them that they love them, I often say to myself, if you truly love this lady, why are you not there with her? That's the one with her. Why are you studying philosophy? Go and meet her. Because where love is, there is oneness. Come and meet me after Mass and I'll give you the transport. If the law of love were truly practiced, my brothers and sisters, there will be no wars. There will be no divorce. There will be no broken relationship, empty promises, broken hearts, and young women and even men committing suicide because they have been deceived in love. There will be none of these things. As a matter of fact, there wouldn't even be a visa requirement to enter Tanzania or Malawi. Just drive and go there because we love each other. But is that the case? No. St. Paul in Romans chapter 18 verse 10 is very correct when he says that love is the fullness of the law. In summary, my brothers and sisters, if we truly love our neighbor, we must also be prepared to die for them. Because there's no greater love than to die for the person that you love. Can we? No. Just a simple pregnancy, the guy runs away. He will not die if he accepts that I made this woman pregnant, this girl pregnant. But how many single mothers do we know? Linda, Chawama, all over the place. Where is the Lord? This, my brothers and sisters, is essentially the main reason why I told that girl at Sanfields Beach that I did not believe her. And this is why also, when someone tells you quite cheaply that he or she loves you, you must also respond with, I don't believe you.